Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. Hope everyone had a great week, and I hope you are having an even better weekend. All right, so I'm not going to hold you for too long today, so we're going to get right to today's show. The title of the show is Chances Are, and the topic is Wasted Opportunities. A little ahead of my time, but I've always liked the song Chances Are. That was sung by the one and only Johnny Mathis and written by Robert Allen. And like a lot of things, sometimes I can be accused of overthinking some things, but just for this in particular, I always thought about what if Johnny Mathis thought that that song was silly and refused to record it. Well, that would have been his loss. But what if he decided not to record that song for any valid reason? But, I'm sure Johnny was smart. We know he was smart. And he took advantage of an opportunity and crooned the heck out of that song. So, you say the word chances are, and immediately Johnny Mathis comes to mind. He capitalized on an opportunity and an example of why we should take advantage of them too. All right. So still, how often do we get a once in a lifetime chance, much less a second chance, then let the opportunity sail right by? Are you guilty of that? Now, I'm all for being honest, and I'll admit that possibly I could have let some opportunities pass me by. I don't know, but I'm just going to say that the potential was there, simply because of being unsure. With so much going on in the world today, sometimes it's hard to decipher, who's being real and who's being false. So it was one of those type of situations. Okay. But I learned my lesson and stop letting opportunities, just slip through my fingers. And I hope that you would do the same, after listening to today's show. But at any rate, there are probably just too many instances to count. But let's focus on the now with eyes wide and ears open, shall we? All right. So opportunities are things that a great portion of the world's population misses for one reason or another. But for those who pay close attention, kudos to you. Wasted opportunities, they can have devastating effects once you realize you didn't seize the moment. And most of us are procrastinators who think, I'll just wait until later, but that day may never come, because we all know tomorrow's not promised, okay? And we should never, don't let me misquote this, we should never take on an unassuming attitude about anything, especially if it could prove profitable in the future. And that's what we want. We want to be successful. We want our businesses to profit, not just to break even, but to profit. Okay. Missed opportunities, and I just got to say it, reflects immaturity and irresponsibility. Okay. It's the lack of desire or purpose. And we should stay optimistic, curious, and ready for a challenge. For some people, that's a big deal. They don't even challenge themselves, much less want to be involved in challenging situations. But sometimes, you just got to step on out there And, if it pans out, good. If it don't, well, sometimes that's just how it is, but you never know unless you try. All right. Otherwise, we become stagnant, suspicious of everything and everyone, therefore hesitating when we should be active in building a successful outcome. Everything we do should be intentional. Why wait until tomorrow for things we can do today? The chances are that it could become another missed opportunity due to inaction. We see people on the television, just pretty much just wallowing in self-regret, self-pity, and we don't know all the circumstances, but for some who want to share, why they are in the situation that they're in, it's because of missed opportunities. It's like they have regrets because, I had the opportunity to do this, but, I slept on it because, I thought it would come around again. Or, I didn't act on it because, I'm quote unquote, I got air quotes going on here, bigger than that, I don't need that. But, sometimes we need a reality check, and therefore we won't be missing these opportunities when they come to us, okay? And I know that some things seem too good to be true. For example, an invitation for a free promotion from someone or an entity you've never heard of before. And I bring this up because this happened to me recently. It was from a magazine. And I've never heard of the magazine before, but they invited me to write a post in their magazine. And I was like, well, okay, let me check you guys out, see what you're about. So, I went to their website and, and it was well put together. And then I went to their submission guidelines. And, and the mission guidelines were, pretty straightforward. They didn't ask for anything impossible. But still, even with this free invitation to submit a post to their magazine, it still has to go through the paces, and all of this stuff. So I was like, well, if you want me to submit something to your magazine, I understand you want to make sure that it's print ready, and all of that is worthy of being printed. But don't ask me to submit something and then tell me, well, okay, well, if we decide to, to print it in our magazine, then we will. If not, we'll let you know. Well, why even offer the invitation if you have no intentions of doing that anyway? So, but still, I checked it out. I just didn't read the email or delete the email like I usually do, when I get these weird emails from people I've never heard of before, published in places that I've never heard of before. And then you go out there and research them, and guess what? They want to sell you something. So, and this particular magazine, they have a $50 submission fee. So I was like, okay, so you guys invited me, but then you have a $50 submission fee. But they said that, to be fair, they said that was for unsolicited invitation. So okay, so I was like, fine, whatever. I don't have a magazine piece anyway that's that I want to share because and I don't have any qualms or think that that my stuff is too good to go in their magazine or whatever. I don't. That thought never entered my mind. But but it's something that I have to work on. It's something that I just can't that I just can't do. Because of the guidelines, I need to go through my work and see what article would best fit their submission guidelines. So I am going to research further and before I do anything. But I don't like to be Johnny on the spot or whatever. I like to, in some cases, in this case, take my time, research it. And, and put something worthy together. And then, if I decide to submit it, I will do that. But, but it was nice of them to offer, even though, I've never heard of them before, don't know how they got my email. Well, I do know how they got it because I'm out there. So that's how they got it. But still, whatever. But anyway, I'll admit that, some things do seem sketchy, but like I did, do your homework and investigate. That some of that responsibility is on you to investigate, to make sure that it's on the up and up. And in any case, it could become an opportunity of a lifetime. You just never know. However, you won't know that if you ignore the potential, okay? The closed mouths don't get fed, and worse than that is pride. And it's one of the 7 deadly sins. So, please don't limit your ability by refusing to do things like self-promotion because of a prideful attitude. And I'm just going to tell you, that's not going to get you far at all, because, pride is something that, we all have it. We all have a sense of pride, not to the point, God forbid, that that it's going to keep us from moving ahead, because we think that we are just the stuff, and can't nobody tell us nothing because we're already there. But just a sense of self-worth, of who you are and your abilities. So don't ever let that stand in your way, because you are who you are. You're a writer. You are writers. You are authors. You are artists. In whatever realm of the genres, of the abilities, no matter which corner of those realms you exist, you are what you are, and no one can take that away from you. All right, but don't get the big head and think that is that that you can't do something because, oh no, I won't do that because I'm better than that. No, don't adopt that type of attitude, because to me that's just being plain stupid. All right. And some of the most successful individuals weren't afraid to tell the world who they were through self-promotional tactics. So just keep that in mind. FYI, you can't always depend on opportunity. Sometimes you need to be proactive and create opportunity by making the first move. All right. So, opportunity is a crucial step to success that might involve some risk, but keep a positive attitude and don't be afraid to step out on faith. All right, guys. So that is the show for today. Before I let you go, I want to make sure that I give you these URLs. I'm not too proud to do that because I want you to check out this show. I want you to go to all of these URLs and download and listen to the show. Like it and share, all right? So, of course, the first one is Spreaker. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. It is Spreaker, but it's the URL https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian Moore. I'm getting ahead of my tongue as well. Also, you can follow me across all social media platforms, which includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. All right. And you can also check out my website that is at authorvivianmore.com or authorehshepard.com. You can also check out my blog, which is at https://vivianmore.blogspot.com. All right. So now to Spreaker and all the other platforms where you can listen to the show. I mean, it's everywhere podcasts are, but I just want to point these ones out to you. All right. So anyway, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, JioSaven, iTunes, Audible.com, Verbal Luminary, and Amazon Music. All right. So those are all the places where you can check out Book Chat. All the recorded episodes, including today's show. If you missed the live episode, you can always listen to the recorded versions. They're still just as good as the live, I hope. But anyway, I thank you so much for for contributing to my success, for helping me to reach a goal that I didn't even realize I could reach. But a little self-promotion, a little opening up my mouth and telling folks what's going on and asking them to help me to achieve that goal. So, sometimes it takes that. And, and I am not ashamed to say that, that I ask. And you have to ask. Again, closed mouths don't get fed. So, if you don't ask, you don't get it. All right. But anyway, I thank you for listening to the show each and every week, and for sharing it. For those who share it on a weekly basis, Wendy Waters, she is one of my biggest fans, and I'm one of her biggest fans. And she was on the show. I had her on the show a couple of times talking about her work and everything. And so she is one of those people who spreads the love. She doesn't mind sharing your work. She shares it on Twitter, and in a group that we're both in, a book group, author group that we're both in. She does that, and I so appreciate it. And I always, whenever she does that, I'll always let her know that, that she is one of my greatest cheerleaders, and that I appreciate her so very much. So, if she happens to check out today's show, then she'll hear me shouting her out. Check out her work, because, she's a very good author, and, and you just need to read some good books every now and again. All right. So, just make sure you do that, for her, and I will appreciate you so very much for it. Next Saturday, we won't have a show because, of course, that is the Memorial Day weekend. So I'm taking advantage of that, and so won't be doing the show. So I will miss you, but God willing, I'll be back that following Saturday. All right. So tomorrow is Worship Day. Looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. And I hope that you are being safe. I know you don't need to tell me that, but you don't need me to tell you that. But still, I have to put it out there because it's constantly on my mind. So, I want you thinking about it as well. And also, you need to tell those closest to you how you feel about them. Tell them how much you love them, because tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say that. So on that note, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you, and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.